Day 25 to the glory of God, working on strength, conditioning strength of our tissues, our muscles, our bones, and our movements through coordination, balance, force production, power, strength, and endurance, and variability of the movement that God created us with. So we're going to start, instead of push, pull, lunge, or push, pull, squat, hinge, twist, or rotation, and lunge, we're going to start with lunges first. And so we're going to do lunge matrix with arm drivers. So 8 different positions, starting with forward down, forward forward, forward up, forward up, forward rotation, forward rotation, forward lateral bend, or lateral flexion and extension, and then forward diagonal. Boom, same thing. Down, forward, forward, up, up. So I'm going to zoom through it. So adding a little bit of speed. If you can add some depth, throw a little depth in there. If you can add a little distance, add a little distance in there. If you can't, shorten up the distance that you step, shorten up the depth in which you drop your hips, and slow down the speed. It's windy, it's gonna rain, it's beautiful. How boring would it be if it was just always sunny and dry? There'd be no plants, none of that beauty behind me. If there was no, through up here, snow really helps the cultivation of the land. It gives it a break, a rest. Other places it's the lack of rain and desert, right, that gives the land its rest. But God works in these incredible creation cycles where work, and then rest. And that's what we portray in this exercise format. We're working for 6 days and then resting. And then in those 6 days, it's not the same work every time, and everything is progressing towards greater functionality, greater embrace of what God has gifted us with our bodies, with our movement. Pretty incredible, just pretty awesome opportunity for us to spend together in the glory of God, just through moving our bodies and enjoying His creation and man's creation, the train there. If you can hear that, I don't know. The train sounding its horn, keeping people safe. And then over the top, lateral, we're almost there. If we kind of zoom through this, not autonomically or in a automaton-like or a zombie-like fashion, but each movement is intentional, but I can add some speed to it. Then what I'm doing is I'm actually conditioning more force production. So distance, speed, depth, all of that creates more force production. More force creates more load through the soft tissues, tendons, ligaments, cartilage, as well as the more adaptable. So those are a little bit less adaptable in that they just have less circulation through them, less what we call capillary density. So less blood bringing in nutrients and taking out the toxins. But our bones are going to also adapt, and our muscles are going to adapt, and those are faster adapting because there's a lot more blood infused. And I know it doesn't seem likely, but in the bone there's a ton. Think about marrow, right? That's where that red blood cell is created. So lunge matrix is done. Now we're into the pull, or push rather. I think I started with pull yesterday, or the day before yesterday. So we'll again go back to push. So that nice plank position, squeezing the glutes, flexing the quads, shoulders down and back, proud chest, looking forward, right? Not up and forward this way, but forward. So I have a neutral-ish spine, or good spine position, and then lower myself down and up. got 20, if you got 10 or 5 or whatever it is that you're at, maybe you're at 25, I don't know. That's great. And then we'll row. So I'll actually show this side. I haven't gone on this side much. And then you can see it from the other side. Notice the slight twist. But the smoothness of the movement, none of it's pulling me out of position. I'm controlling the movement. I'm controlling that position. Nice. Whatever you got is great. Oh, I need that. Then we'll go into squat, front-loaded squat. This forces our abs to engage. It actually helps us create a better movement pattern as well. And I'll show you the front position for the last rep. Boom, I'm inside. Nice proud chest, tall spine. Nice. And hinge, driving hips back. Good. Strong abs, upper back, proud chest. Feeling it in my glutes, my hamstrings, or my butt, and the back of my thighs. Nice. All right, now I'm gonna throw with my rotation and add speed. 7, 8, 9, 10, punch. Yeah. So zoom through about 8 minutes, and each position. So obviously conditioning wise, endurance wise, heart and lungs are going, but each position, it's a new muscle group. So I'm not working a muscle group that's already been pre-fatigued and then having to do sets and reps in that one. Going from the Lunge Matrix is lower body. With arm drivers, there's upper body involved, but the upper body is really putting more force load in different variations through the lower body. So it's still lower body. Then I switched to upper body, push, and then followed by pull. So the pull muscles are the opposite muscles of the push muscles. So get a rest there. And then I go into squat, lower body again. And now I'm doing a squat and then a hinge. And so squats are the opposite muscle groups as the hinge muscle groups. The glute kind of ties them all together, but the glute in the hinge specifically is much more primarily, or much more glute than the squat. The squat is much more quad or front of the thigh. So because it's opposite, it's allowing those muscles to rest, but my heart rate is staying up, my breath rate's staying up. So my strength is getting worked, but as well as my endurance is getting worked. And then I roll into that rotation, so it allows for rest of the push and pull and squat and hinge, and then works back into a rotational capacity for the vertical core and hips, right, in a completely different fashion. And so then you're able to jump into the second set, jump into the third set, and you can give yourself a little bit of rest. And if you need rest, right, take rest. If you're dying or you can't do the movement or you're shaking or whatever, then yeah, pull back, right? err on the side of a little bit easier and stay consistent rather than go hard today to make super gains and then find yourself not able to sustain that effort, right? So we want sustained effort. So even if that means drop the effort a little bit today so that you can do it again tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. With that, I love you and I'm praying for you.